From Scott Reacts on YouTube to now a podcaster, this is Scott Talks. Hello everyone, my name is Scott and welcome to episode 6 of the Scott Talks podcast. Today we are going to be talking about the coronavirus and how serious it is and what the future may hold for this virus. Now before we get into that, hello guys, I'm back. It's been a very, very long time, maybe about 3 months now since the Scott Talks podcast has been off the air. Well, it's been planned that I was trying to come back around the beginning of January, but a flu outbreak was going on up here where I live, and I kind of caught a little bit of it, and it was on and off again sickness, so I just kept holding it off to where I was coming back or not, and rejoining the podcast. Same thing for my Scott Reacts channel. I haven't done a reaction in 3 months either, and I plan to get back on that, but until I do, we'll have to see what videos come through. Anyway, guys, so today we are going to be talking about the coronavirus, and something that has been joked about since last year, the ending of last year. It caught the eye of some people, and it wasn't that big of a deal at first until now. It's actually starting to spread more and more. I don't have much research on this virus. I just know one thing, that it started over in China, and there could be many, many reasons why this virus has started. It's probably been stated why it started, but I haven't just looked into it. But my little speculations is, let's talk about the atmosphere of China. Okay, I'm not going to get into detail of, because it's China, and it's not us, because, no. China is an industrial nation, or country. Industrial country, and it's responsible for our needs, mostly because we have a trade with them, even though, it's so basically we get most of our stuff from China. They make all of it and we buy it from them, and it gets imported over here, and all they do is factory work. There's factory work, and they're always, over the many years, before the coronavirus, people would still wear masks over there. Pollution over there, air pollution over there is 10 times worse than it could be anywhere else. More than 10 times, possibly 20. There's these, 8-lane highways they have built where it's all this car pollution, these factories, these industries. China is an industrial zone country. It's one of the biggest manufacturing countries. I think it's the second biggest. We manufacture a lot of goods, but we don't manufacture everything. They do more than we do. The cell phone you probably, listening to this podcast on was made in China. The computer you're using, made in China. PlayStation games, made in China. Notice how big that is. And then and then the food they have there, it ain't like their food's poisoning people, but like, you could possibly get poisoning through pollution, eating something, and that mixing together. But there's so many speculations of what this virus came from. There's so many, and they don't want to spread. They need to close the country and not let anyone come in and let anyone go out. If you're planning to go on China next month, don't go. And that's not even, and actually this podcast, we're going to talk more about the coronavirus. We're going to talk about what's gone on in the past month before with 2020. Also, Happy New Year, guys. I never got to address that. So yeah, there's a lot going on with this coronavirus, and just a few days ago, maybe a week ago, a United States citizen here, a young boy, died from the virus. Now, either this was due to him being on a plane, or somebody from China came over and got this boy, caught it from him. I'm not sure if it's airborne or what it is, or if it's, I'm pretty sure it's contagious if somebody coughs on you from it. But a United States child over here got it. So that's scaring people now that whoever gave it to him, that now it's in the US. So it came from China to US, and it could have already spread to another country and they just haven't caught the eye of it. So this is something scary, because the last time we had something like this was the Ebola outbreak. And Ebola was fought off. Many people did die, but it was fought off and it no longer became a threat. But people are not thinking this is going to be the same case for this virus, because the coronavirus is killing faster, infecting faster, but it's not like a worldwide. It is worldwide since it's already spread to the US, but how much has it spread to the US? Because, people get sick left and right. Not everyone's immune system's strong. My immune system is strong. I rarely get the flu. The last time I got the flu was probably 2017. And I got it at the beginning of this year too. But it was 2017. So a 3-year gap of me getting the flu, that shows how strong my immune system is. I never usually get it. And the fact is, 2017 was the first time I ever got the flu in my 19 years of living. So, yeah, that shows right there how easily my immune system is, and I stay healthy. I don't, and so, yeah, that's basically it. But there's a lot of reasons why people have this virus and they're catching it easier. They're not staying healthy, they're eating bad, and I could say that, intoxicating could possibly go into it as well. But nobody really knows. Possibly a lot of people know. Now, let's get off the coronavirus subject, because I want to talk more about the coronavirus. What has happened at the beginning of this year? Now, everyone thought that the 2020 was going to be the newest decade of, fresh starts. Well, not even a few weeks into 2020, they're already talking about World War III. And that is not something to joke about, because, war can happen anytime, even though our relationship with North Korea I don't know how that's still going on. And then Trump's been impeached. I'm not saying I'm a Trump fan, okay? I don't care about politics, but I will try to go and look and see what our president's doing, because I care. I don't watch the debates every time. If it's a president I'm interested in, I will watch a debate. But I did watch the debate for Trump. But if it's not anything to my liking that I care about, if he says that he's not, if the president doesn't say he's going to do, or if the president says he's going to do something and doesn't do it, that's how I lose my interest. Trump is probably the first ever president, I believe he is, to make that big of a deal with North Korea. Meet with you couldn't meet with Kim Il-sung, the father of Kim Jong-un, and his grandfather. We never met with them. We always had a feud with them. The whole reason we helped South Korea in the against them in the Korean War. But Trump is probably the first president to ever take that step and that risk to say, hey, I'm tired of fighting. Trump wants peace. He's like, I'm tired of fighting. What we did to them years prior, we need to make up for that, and let's, take his side, or not take his side, but let's make a peace agreement, and then just join his side. So that's what happens. They meet in the White House. Kim Jong-un himself is in the White House. But then years later, people still have things against Trump. They go way back to what Trump used to do as a billionaire. Who cares? Stay out of the past. And these are the Democrats that are only doing this. I'm not a Democrat or Republican. I don't consider myself a part of those parties. I don't really care. I haven't voted yet. I've registered to vote, but I will be voting this next 2020. And possibly if Trump goes again, I may vote for him. I'm not. Don't go after me if you do this. It's a public opinion. I don't want to hear your public opinion of why I shouldn't, because there's reasons why I should. Anyway, not being hostile here. So he's done plenty, and the fact of the matter is the whole ICE thing, or ICE, and then the whole Bill Clinton, the whole thing where people were getting locked in cages and crap and imprisoned, the immigrants, that wasn't Trump's fault. That was Bill Clinton, who passed a law years ago, and now it's still in effect, but while Trump is under presidency, and they still blame Trump for it. I was like, how are you going to blame another president's actions on the new president? And the only reason people don't like Trump is because of how he got into the White House. Because he was never a political guy. He was a billionaire. But still, that does not mean the man's not doing right. Or it doesn't mean that he's doing wrong. There are so many things that have gotten done. And there's so many things, like, I can't name them all. It's been 4 years now since, or 3 or 4 years now since he's been president. Maybe 3. And there's so many things that have happened, and they've done good. I mean, him with the repealing Obamacare, he's not doing that because he doesn't want you to have health care. Obamacare had so many flaws in it that he managed, but it just happens all the time. And I'm not sure what the reasoning is for that, but that's what it is. Now, this is probably going to be a long podcast. Why not? Because I'm back. We're going to talk about the other thing, the wildfires in Australia. I'm not sure. I don't know the full basis on how that happened. I don't know if, Australia got too dry or someone did light a cigarette on fire. I'm not sure. But the condition that Australia, I don't know, I don't think it's still burning. I think it's completely gone, put out. But a lot of lives were lost. People and animals combined. And I'm telling you right now, things have gotten really bad over the past few years. And, being caught on fire, the weather situation, hurricanes, all that. It's something serious, and it's not funny. It's really not funny. And for Australia to be like that, and get hit like that, it's shocking, and it's sad. And then now, this past month alone, the end of January, NBA star Kobe Bryant passed away. He and his daughter and a few others in a helicopter crash. Guys, it's not funny. I look on Instagram, I see these TikTok videos of guys trying to speculate if Kobe Bryant... So there was one I saw that said Kobe Bryant faked his death because the plane looked different before the crash and after the crash. I said, that's not funny. I said, surely the man would not want to fake his death, let alone his daughter's? It's not funny, dude, because it's really not. And see, I don't know, and there's so many speculations of, just a few days ago, there was one, it was like, it's been confirmed that the engine never went out in the helicopter. So, was the pilot planning on a suicide? There's so many. One is like the back engine went out, caught fire, and the plane went down. The other is the pilot couldn't see, it was too foggy, and he crashed into the side of a mountain. I said, no! No one knows exactly what happened. If anyone survived on board, they would have known what happened. No one survived on board. We didn't see it. No one filmed it. Thank God. And it's not, no, you can't say what happened if you don't know what happened. But if an engineer can look at it and say how they think the engine failed, then they can speculate. But you can't just say, oh, the pilot couldn't see, it was foggy at the time. Or, it's just, I don't like these ideas. And then the idea of him faking his death. I'm like, dude, you must be that, it's just the world today. The world today, anything happens, people will joke about it, because in real life, they know they won't joke about it in real life, but behind a fake username or a profile picture, they can joke all they want. Exactly, I mean, this is the truth. And until they're faced about it by tons of other people who cared about this guy. I mean, I wasn't a basketball fan, but I knew of Kobe Bryant growing up, and people looked up to this guy. People really looked up to this guy. And they looked up to him. They saw him as the greatest of all time, one of the greatest of all time. I mean, I watch documentaries that are, well, not documentaries, these interviews with Shaquille O'Neal, I've never seen a man cry like that. Lose that right there was like a brother to him, a best friend. I've never seen anyone cry like that, especially not even Shaquille O'Neal, because he's the most happiest guy, I've seen in the NBA. And I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, and then we got people out here just joking about his death, it's not cool. But look, the real moral of the story is, this year hasn't started off really good at all. We all said Happy New Year, it turned 2020, and we were hoping for something new to happen. Yet, it's still the same stuff from last year, the decade, and everything. It's gonna get worse, and not everyone's gonna like it, not everyone's gonna accept it. I've already accepted that it's gonna get worse, because I can tell. If the last decade was nothing but death and full of, bad things started happening near the end of the decade, then what exactly is in store for this decade? What can we do to fix this? Will Americans and people stop and try to make a change? Probably not. Because there's so much out here that's literally distracting them from changing. And there's a phrase out there, it's easier to do wrong than do right. And these people out here love to do right. I mean, do wrong, no matter what. Continuously blaming God for these actions, continuously, it's crazy. And it's not cool, it's not funny. And maybe if you heard this podcast and you were one of those people that one time and they did make a change, try to find, if you know anybody who does this, try to talk to them, show them how it's wrong and how the world is changing because of these actions. Just talk to them. If they don't listen to you, then they go their other way, but their time is coming. But anyway, guys, this is a very long rant of many, many things. It's crazy. I'm kind of scared what's going to happen for the next decade, for the next 10 years and so on. Will things get worse? Or will things get better? But we'll never know, and we will see in time. Well, thank you guys for listening. I'll be back every Tuesdays and Thursdays. 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tuesdays and Thursdays, and we're going to be back every day, every Tuesday, Thursday, daily, all the time. And we'll try to get back on the reactions too, guys. But we're going to get back at it. Thank you guys for listening. I'm Scott, and this is Scott Talks. Have a good day. Thank you. Want to listen to more episodes from Scott Talks Podcast? You can go to anchor.fm/Scott Talks Tuesdays and Thursdays, and on the Spotify app to listen at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Tuesdays and Thursdays on the YouTube app at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to listen to more episodes.